Welcome to Mastering Monday. I'm Monique Williams, the Partnership Coordinator for the Daniel Center of Leadership. Mastering Monday is created to help you add purpose to your work so that you can experience God's best for your life. With that being said, let's get into this content.
Hi, guys. It's Alan Williams Jr., and welcome to another episode of where are we at? What day is it? It's Mastering Monday. It's Mastering Monday, guys. I'm excited to be in the streaming suites with you today. We're right here in the streaming suites in Rock Hill, and guys, we are in for another episode. So listen, before we get into it, let's go ahead, right? It's 2023, right? Let's go ahead and get this out. Let's get this message out, right? Go ahead and share it. Go ahead and share this out to your timeline because, guys, you know, we're about to go in. We got another heavy topic, and I don't want to waste any time. I want to get right into it. So before we get into it, I want you to get the essence of this Mastering Monday message and get back to mastering your Monday. Right? We say, Alan, it might be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? It doesn't matter. We use Monday right here. We use Monday as a brand identity to represent your work experience, right? If you're an entrepreneur, what does your work experience look like? If you are a corporate employee, what does your work experience look like? I mean, no matter what you do, we use Monday because Monday is a representation of your work experience. So you know what we want to do? We want to merge that Sunday morning worship experience with that Monday morning work, right? And so guys, share this out. We're about to dive in. And before we dive in, listen, I want to give you an opportunity to sow into the Daniel Center of Leadership. Yes, you have an opportunity to sow on what you receive today, on what you hear today. And that information is going to be on your screen. And that's easy tithe. And when you go to that link, also head over to the Daniel Center, and then there you can easily give your gift, because some people say, Alan, this is valuable, man. I've been rocking with you for almost 30 weeks now, and this is valuable. This is amazing content that I get from you. So I want to give into that, because if you understand what you give into, you will receive from that also. So yes, so guys, I want to make sure that you have that opportunity to give. All right, now let's go ahead. You've shared it. You've already copied the link to give. Now, guys, let's get into today's content. I want somebody out there to say, I want you to drop this in the comment, say it in your car, say it out loud in your living room, whisper it in your job if you're around other people. I want somebody to say, mastery is a choice. Come on, guys. Come on. That's where we're going today. Mastery is a choice. Listen, the thing that I don't like about the new year, I love the new year. I mean, I love it. I told you, me and Monique, we got married January 1. I love the new year, right? It just represents so many different things. But the thing that I do not like about the new year, you ready for it? Is I don't like the cliche of New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions. I feel like when we put so much effort into the New Year resolution, we forfeit the choice of doing the work. Because we can make these resolutions, right? We can set out to do these amazing things, right? But how many of you know, just like me, listen, if you set out to do those things, then you don't have an actionable plan behind it, what's going to happen to those things? They're going to be right on that list later on that year, right? They're going to carry over. And by the time the new year comes in, it's already multiplied, right? So I want to give you your mastery moment for today. Guys, mastery is a choice. Let me put it another way. Mastery doesn't choose anybody. Mastery doesn't choose anybody. Mastery doesn't choose you. You choose mastery. Yeah. See, I want to dive into that a little bit because we can make goals, right? We can have these aspirations, right? We can have a vision within the inside of us, but that doesn't mean that we're going to accomplish that thing. I'm going to let that sit right there because many of you have goals about your work. You have goals about your career. You have goals for your family. You have spiritual goals even. You have goals for your money, right? Those goals won't just magically drop in your lap. Now you say, Alan, I might get a miracle. True, you might get a miracle. No doubt. No doubt. You might get a miracle. But even with that blessing that you get, right? Imagine what that blessing could be if we put some management behind it. Right? On your job, right? If you have a manager, maybe you are a manager. Either way, people report to you and you report to someone, or maybe you report to someone, whatever the case may be, right? That manager is there for a particular reason. That manager is there because that manager has to ensure that certain objectives are met. That manager has to ensure that certain tasks are being completed. Right? Imagine if we took that same management perspective that we have at our work and we put it to our goals. Meaning, okay, this is my goal, right? This is what I want to set out to do over the next year, over the next 3 years, ultimately over the next decade. This is what I want to do, right? Imagine if we put those same management principles into place. Meaning holding ourselves accountable, pulling in others, doing observations. Here at the Dance Center of Leadership, in the office, it's the going thing in the office. Listen, debrief is the breakfast of champions, right? Meaning I set out to do something. Now I have to go back. I have to watch that film. Guys, I want to make this personal for you though. I want to make this personal for you. If you haven't shared this yet, go ahead and share this out. Go ahead and share this out right now. Go ahead and say he's talking good on Mastering Monday today. Guys, but what if we did that with our own personal goals and our own objectives? Right? Because oftentimes this is going to hurt a little bit. Say ouch, drop ouch in the comment field. It's going to hurt a little bit. But guys, oftentimes it's easier for us to hold other people accountable than it is for us to hold ourselves accountable. Right? But the same reason we hold others accountable, because we want to see them get to a desired goal. Maybe we're in a team and we want to see the team get to the desired goal, and that person has a key role in that part. In that process. So we hold them accountable. We say, hey, where are you at with this? Last week you said you were going to do XYZ by Thursday. Can I get an update on that? Right? We're holding them accountable because we have a desired goal as a team and we want to fulfill that. Well, I'm here to tell you, in your journey of mastery, as you master your skill, we talked about last week, as you perfect your skill, you have to have those same accountability sessions with yourself. Right? And so we have to begin to implement management principles in our daily routine. See, this is why I don't like resolutions, guys, because resolutions don't give you this. Resolutions don't give you the full game plan. Resolutions just say, make a pretty goal, make a shiny goal and set it there and then just dream for it. I might do a little work here or there, but nobody's holding me accountable. I'm not holding myself accountable. No, guys, this is why the process of mastery, it involves you. You have to make a choice. You have to choose to turn on. You have to choose, hey, I'm going to wake up an hour early every morning. You have to choose to hold yourself accountable to your objectives. You have to choose to pull in others and say, hey, you're going to be my accountability partner for the next quarter, right? This is what I want to do. Help me track this month by month. We have to choose mastery. Mastery doesn't choose you. So guys, before we get out of here today, man, this has been so good. This has been so amazing. But guys, before we get out of here, I want to read a scripture. So it comes from Daniel chapter 1, verse 8. Daniel chapter 1, verse 8. And I want to go to the scripture for several reasons, but most of the time during the new year, people are thinking about resetting. People are thinking about, man, how do I reset, my life? How do I set new goals? A lot of Christian people with Christian worldviews are doing fast during the first of the year. Hey, if that's your thing, do it. But here's the script I want to read, and the reason I bring that up is because a lot of people, a lot of churches, they kind of go to this scripture during the beginning of the year because it kind of gives you that challenge, that urge to reset. And it's in Daniel chapter 1, verse 8. And it said, but Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor would he defile himself with the wine which he drank. Therefore, he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. What was Daniel doing here? Daniel was choosing mastery. Yeah. See, Daniel was choosing to embrace mastery. See, Daniel not eating the meal of the Babylonians wasn't simply a dietary preference. I want you to get this, guys, in our last couple of minutes. Daniel choosing not to eat the meal that everyone else was eating, that was not just a dietary preference. He was not saying, hey, I want to withhold myself from XYZ food. No. What Daniel was doing, on the contrary, it was a cultural standard he possessed that reflected his commitment to God. Guys, as we get out of here, I want to ask you, what is your commitment to God? Right? We can do all of these things. We can set out to do all of these amazing things. But this scripture tells us two key things, two key takeaways that I want you to take away. Number one, before Daniel set out to do anything, before he made his mind up, the scripture said he purposed it in his heart. Back then, whenever an order was put forth from the king, listen, you didn't have a say in that. It wasn't a conference call. You couldn't give your opinion. No, Daniel had no clue. He didn't know if they were going to allow him, if the prince of the eunuchs were going to allow him to do this or not. But before Daniel set out, he purposed it in his heart. I want to ask you today, what decisions are you making before you stepping out on action? What decisions are you making before you step out and take that next action? Before you say, hey, I want to do XYZ, before you put that Instagram post up, before you tell a friend, before you go talk to your manager, what have you purposed in your heart? And then secondarily, what commitment are you making with God? And how does that purpose fit within the commitment that you're making with God? Come on, guys. I told you in the beginning, we're merging the two. We're merging the two. That's right. We're merging our faith and we're merging our work. Because when we merge our faith and our work, that's whenever we can begin to see ourselves develop into the person it takes to reach our goals. Guys, I'm Alan Williams Jr. I have loved you and I've loved our time together, but it's time for us to go. You don't got to leave, but you got to go master something. All right, guys, I'll see you back here next week on Mastering Monday.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are excited to be hanging out with you today for another episode talk or motivational moment with the Daniel Center of Leadership. And we believe the content, the insight is being a game changer for you. So listen, like, tag, share, hang out with some people around this conversation, start some conversations on your jobs with your family, your coworkers, your peers, even your pastors and your church members. We believe that the insight that's being shared is helping you master Monday so that Jesus is glorified and you experience sacred significance throughout